Today, we're in the Wayne County, Michigan court of Judge Elizabeth DiSanto. We have a defendant in on a bond violation hearing, at which he tells a few white lies, drops a few bold-faced lies, and tries to muddy the waters enough to make the judge start questioning everything. Does Judge DiSanto buy what Farma Bro is selling? Let's roll, law nerds.
Record in the matter of the city of Wyandotte versus Joseph Torelli, 241115.
Oh, okay.
You'll have to excuse the camera angle in this courtroom. I did the best I could with what we got.
All right, and so counsel, your appearance, please.
Your Honor, John Goldclough, P30758, on behalf of Mr. Shirelli. Mr. Shirelli, would you please put your name on the record?
Yes, Joseph Shirelli, and I'm sorry for my attire, Your Honor, I came right from work, so.
Okay. I think that happened on that too. And so today's the date scheduled for a sentencing as well. Nope.
Section of order.
Yes, it was not held. We adjourned it. And then the bond violation hearing. So the sir, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this man the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. And so the bond violation hearing is alleging that Mr. Torelli did not appear for testing on December 22nd.
Your Honor, I believe.
And Mr. Shirelli said he went.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And so we have Mr. Fakori here to hopefully clarify a few things. Mr. Fakori, can you please state your name for the record, please? Oh, you're muted.
Jacob Fakori.
Okay, so Mr. Can you spell your first and last names for the record, please, Mr. Fakori?
Jacob and Fakhouri.
All right. So this court, at your adjourned pretrial date on December 4th, ordered you to test on December 4th.
He never came in to enroll December 4th, Your Honor.
Okay? So, Mr. Shirelli?
I did go there that day, Your Honor. I do have a picture to prove that. I did not have the $35 that day to pay for my test, so therefore they didn't sign me up because I couldn't pay for my test. But I promise you I was there.
Okay, let me take a look at that photo.
That is the on-site building. And then when I couldn't get the money.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Okay. So this is the on-site building. You're out in the front of it. That doesn't tell me that.
I had
Let's
went in.
see. Oh, hold on. You're aware that you can slide up and you see the date and the time the picture's taken, correct?
Yes, that's the time I was there.
Right, December 6th at 6:16 p.m.
They told me to come back on Friday because.
Sir?
Whammo! 2 minutes in, and Farma Bro has already gotten caught in a lie. You gotta give her more credit than that, dude.
You were to be there December 4th, right?
Yes,
Okay. Did you go December 4th?
yes, I did, Your Honor.
Okay, so where's your proof of that?
I don't
Because
have the
you're-
proof of
Hold
that.
on, you just gave me this photo
I
as
didn't
proof
take
that you
that
were there
photo.
on the 4th.
I didn't take that photo until I went back on Friday.
Okay? Why didn't you take the photo on the 4th?
I guess it didn't come to my mind. I didn't think of it, Your Honor. I don't know.
Well, sir, you were ordered to go test on the 4th.
I understand.
Mr. Fakori, did
Yes.
Mr. Torelli appear on December 4th?
No, he did not, Your Honor.
Actually, I don't know if did I swear you in, Mr. Fakori?
I'm sorry?
Did I swear you in?
Yeah, he did not, because if he came in, everybody signs in on the log sheet.
Mr. Fakori, hold on one moment, please. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm testimony you're about to give in this matter and the testimony you have given is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, what were you saying about if he had come in?
Anybody that comes into our building, the first thing that's done is there's a log sheet for the day. They sign in, and then they put the time that they came in and what they're there for and how much money that they're paying
Okay.
on that sheet.
If somebody comes in and they don't have the money to pay, is their name still on that log sheet?
No, it depends if they came in and left, no. But if they came in and signed in and then said that they didn't have any money, then their name would be on the sign-in sheet. And we checked that and the name was not on the sign-in sheet.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
When an individual comes in to sign in, is there any type of discussion prior to signing in about paying?
Usually when you sign in, then we know what you're there. We need to find out what you're there for so we can give you the proper paperwork and the correct amount to pay.
I understand that, sir. My question was, if an individual comes in and says, I'm here to sign in for testing, does whoever is the receptionist, does that receptionist indicate that money has to be paid on that day?
When they come in, if they say, I don't have any money, then we say, no, don't sign in. You know, you have to call your PO and come back when you do have the money. But when they come in, we don't know what they're there for till they sign in and we know who they are and make a copy of their ID.
So you just said, correct me if I'm wrong, if a person comes in, says, I don't have the money today, they'll tell, then the receptionist, whoever is directing that they sign in, says, well.
Mr. Doherty, are you back?
Pardon? Don't sign in, but come back when you have the money?
They come in before they sign in. If they say, I don't have the money to come in, then we tell them to contact their PO.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, however, Mr. Shirley wouldn't have known if he had what the amount was until he would have signed in. That's what Mr. Fakori even stated, that when they sign in, the testimony was that they don't know what the cost is until the person signs in, fills out the paperwork, and then Mr. Fakori, they can tell whether it's Mr. Fakori or somebody else at the testing site.
Mr. Doherty, are you there?
But.
Stop talking, please. You're interrupting the record.
Your Honor, he also said that if somebody says, I don't have the money to pay, then they don't sign in, and he said, you're told to contact your probation officer. So there are times when an individual come in to sign in and then doesn't have the money, knows he or she doesn't have the money, and then follows the further directions.
Okay, so now I'm guessing I'm gonna be told that Mr. Shirley got there, didn't sign in because he already told somebody he didn't have the money.
They asked me, when I got there, I gave them a paper and she said, oh, how much do you have to pay today? And I said, nothing, I don't have to pay no money. Well, then she looked up and she called I'm sure she called either a probation officer or he or something. And then that's when I found out, she said, oh, you have to pay $35 today. And that's when I said, well, unfortunately, I don't have $35 right now. And then it got postponed and then something happened. And then that's when I came to you and asked you to switch it to saliva because I was having a tough time going with a guy looking at my stuff.
I got news for you, bruh. That will be the least of your worries if she throws your ass in the clink for violating your bond conditions.
And you switched it for me and I went that day and took it.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah, when Mr. Sorelli was given the referral from the PO, on that referral, it spells out exactly what the payment would be on it. And Mr. Sorelli, when he came in on the 17th of January to sign up with us, there's some paperwork that he signs that the release of confidentiality for the probation officer, the our rules and procedure for successful drug screen, and then the information on the payments that are made, which on the 17th he did. And after he came in on the 17th, he did not show up on the 22nd or the 30th or the 5th. The only time that he came in to test was on the 17th and has not been in since then.
Why haven't you been in, sir?
I had no idea I had to go back. They told me they were gonna call me when my color got called up or something, a black color or whatever, and then they never called me, so I never, back when this was a part of my life, Your Honor, back when I was doing this a long time ago, 10 years ago, I never had to call a place or go back numerous times in a month. It was only the one time you go see your PO and that was it. So this is all kind of new to me. And I'm just trying to figure it out because I don't want to lose my job, man. And like, I have nothing to hide. I know you guys think I have a bunch to hide, but I really don't. I don't have a bunch to hide, man.
Sir, first, I'm not manned, and don't assume what it is I'm assuming.
I'm sorry.
So, Mr. Fakori, how is an individual notified from your facility that they need to test?
Once they sign up and they fill out of all the forms, then they're given a log sheet. And on the log sheet, we write down what they did for that day, the date and time, and what they paid. And then at the top of the log sheet, we have outlined 2 phone numbers that we tell them they come up live at 5 a.m. in the morning. And we have 2 numbers just in case, for whatever reason, one goes down, then there's also the second number under a different system that they can call. And underneath that is also highlighted our website to where they can go on the website and it will give them the colors for the day. And we tell them if your color is called, then you need to come in. On his log sheet, across the top, underneath where this information is, his name is on there and the color that he's to call for, black, that's written on the sheet. Everything is pretty much spelled out. There's no thinking involved in what it is that you have to do.
Okay, so sir, did you get copies of that paperwork?
I have received some kind of paperwork, but unfortunately, when I had left that day, I hopped on the smart bus and I left my backpack on there. And unfortunately, all my paperwork and my USW jacket's gone. Like a lot of my stuff is gone that was in my backpack. So what was on that paper, I don't know. I don't know if it said come back or not. I couldn't tell you
You
that.
didn't read it? You didn't look at it? You didn't contact into the court afterwards? You didn't contact back to on-site?
I was gonna read it when I got home, Your Honor. And then when I hopped off the bus by my house, I forgot my backpack on the bus. And by the time I realized it was too late to go back to the bus and get my backpack.
Okay, and when was that, sir?
That was a couple, I don't know, 3 weeks ago.
Great,
Or,
okay.
but like I said, I didn't
So,
know
hold
that
on.
I had to report.
Did you call on-site to let them know, hey, I left my backpack with the papers I received on the bus, can you please give them to me again?
No, I didn't. Because I
Okay,
didn't
no,
buy it.
no,
Okay.
you either did or you didn't. Did you contact into probation here to say, hey,
No, I didn't.
how do I get a hold of knowing what I have to do for testing?
No, I didn't.
So you just kind of been floating around without doing anything that you're ordered to do. You left your backpack on there with the important papers that you received. And they were important enough, but you didn't think they were important enough to contact on-site to get redirection again for testing.
There are those who take court-ordered conditions of bond and probation very seriously. We typically don't see those folks back in court often, except to be released from those bond or probation conditions after following the rules to a T. Then we have Farma Bro, and people like him who will use any excuse they can to excuse their actions or inaction. This ain't the judge's first rodeo.
Your Honor, on the 17th, he was also positive for THC and refused to send it to the lab. He signed a form, the denial form, but he had the option to send it to the lab to check the levels. And
That was January 17th?
January 17th, yes.
I didn't.
Hold it. I'm sorry, it's my understanding that he indicated this is well new, that he did test on the 17th?
January 17th.
Correct, he did test.
All right.
And he tested positive for marijuana.
So I'm not aware of that. There's been no notice sent on this,
I
but
just found out about it myself right now too.
Please take a second to hit the subscribe thingy. It's free, and it will help you and others find more great LawNerds content. I certainly appreciate it.
I understand, Your Honor. And then he was informed, I guess, according to the statement of the witness, that he was notified of this, but denied something, and I don't know what that was.
Confirmation, Mr. Fakori stated that Mr. Shirelli was informed he tested positive for marijuana, had the opportunity to have it sent out for confirmation.
Okay.
And declined that,
All right,
is what Mr. Fakori testified
just,
to.
okay.
That did not happen, Your Honor. I was only given a paper for the denial, and I had nothing about a lab in there, because I would have never denied that whatsoever.
Well, then what did you deny?
They had sent me a thing and said, they wanted me to sign a paper saying that I was admitting to using THC, and I said, well, I'm not admitting to that because I'm not using it. So they gave me a one that said a denial thing, and then that was all I got from that point on for anything.
Sir, do you read what you sign?
I didn't read the paper, I just read.
Why are you not reading it?
Because it just said denial for THC, there wasn't much on the paper to read.
Wasting an hour of your life reading one of these may or may not be in your best interest, but I'm damn sure gonna read and comprehend anything before I sign when my freedom is at stake.
Your Honor, when somebody tests positive, we have two forms, one that they can admit to use and one that they can deny use. And they always have the option of sending it out to the lab to get confirmation so that we have a number, a level that when they come in next time, if they're positive again and it goes out, we can check the level of it and check the ratio to see if there's any new use.
Okay. Well, that looks like it's probably more than a bond violation, sure. Right. Sir, you didn't have any money, so you just left in December?
That's what they told me to do.
You didn't contact in here to say, hey, excuse me, I tried to go test, but I didn't have any money?
Yes, and then they told me to go back when I had the money, the lady in the probation department, and then I went back when I had the money, but then I couldn't go because of the situation I explained to you, and then I came back and that's when you switched over for me, and I went right after that.
Okay. All right, well, all right, thank you, Mr. Fakori. Any other questions, Mr. Goldpaw?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, thank you, Mr. Fakori.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. The court does find that your client did not test as ordered on December 4th. The court's going to find your client guilty for probation violation. As to the sentencing on that and the sentencing.
Your Honor, you said probation
I
violation.
mean bond violation.
That's what I just wanted.
Yep, okay, so as to the sentencing council, you had an opportunity, the PSI was at, there were some corrections that I made note of on January 15th.
That is correct, Your Honor. Excuse me. First of all, he's indicated that there were 2 warrants outstanding. It's my understanding that he has. What? Did you?
Yes.
They have been taken care of as well. Second of all, Your Honor, there was the change. It is not his girlfriend, but it's his wife. I believe that, pardon? Been married for 10 years. Uh,
Right, no, I made that change, I made
Yeah.
a few changes, I made the change that, that it's not his girlfriend, but it's his wife, it's not his girlfriend of 13 years, it's his wife of 10 years.
that is correct, Your Honor.
And that, his weekly income, you have the word income in there. And then, also, those were the changes,
That's correct, Your Honor.
yes, and when the original plan was, I don't know, so I had to have that on there, but, yes. Were there any other, medical issues that were missed? I mean, any other corrections that were missed?
Your Honor, only that, and as he's indicated to you, and he's indicated on numerous occasions, his last conviction was in 2018, approximately 7 years ago. That was a false pretenses. Over this last period of time, over the last number of years, he's turned his life around. He's gotten more involved. He's got a good job, as he's indicated. He's working presently at the USW.
Local 1082.
That's
He apologizes.
The company name
United
is
Steel
what?
Workers?
Yes.
USW?
Yes.
Another recommendation, because he did have quite a busy time between '07 and 18. As he's indicated, there was a great deal of involvement with respect to his brother. He's lost his brother to Brooke. He's lost other members of his family. I think, Your Honor, that incarceration is not the appropriate way at this point in time. I believe rather that he should be placed on probation, make sure he gets through this probationary period so that he can continue to show to this court the steps he's taken to turn himself into a good father and to make sure that he's going to be a law-abiding citizen for the rest of his life. Incarceration, obviously, at this time, it would end up in loss of employment. I don't believe he has enough time to.
I would lose my job for sure. That would be it.
So for those reasons, we're asking.
All cards on the table right now, Mr. Trelli. If you're testing right now, what's in your system?
The only thing I can think of that would possibly be there is still the THC, and that's only because my wife still smokes.
Maybe he shouldn't be hotboxing with his wife, or maybe he needs to use a different bullshit excuse.
And I've never told her,
Okay.
No, hold on.
that's the only thing
Do
that would be in there.
not, do not,
That's it.
do not
Sorry,
mistake me for somebody that's going to believe that.
okay.
Because there's been much testimony from the lab that testifies on a regular basis in this court
Okay.
that is not a way that you're going to be testing positive
Okay,
for marijuana.
okay, that would be the only thing that would possibly be in there, that is it, I promise.
What, sir, when's the last time that you used marijuana?
I used it to help sleep about a week ago. Because I used it to help me sleep, I have insomnia.
Stop with the excuses, please, stop with the excuses,
Okay.
okay?
All right,
Do you have a medical doctor that you have a bona fide treating relationship with that is recommended that is the medicinal path for you?
when it became.
Yes or no?
No,
Okay. So you were arraigned in this court in November, correct?
yes,
And what did this court order as it relates to alcohol and drugs that are not prescribed?
to not use them.
Okay, so you don't have a prescription for marijuana?
No,
No, you don't. So you shouldn't be using it, sir. You shouldn't be
when it
using it.
became legal, my doctor told me that I no longer needed a medical marijuana license or.
Sir? Before you became under the jurisdiction of the court, sure.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
However, no, because back even in November, I believe that was addressed with you as well. If not November, then December, because then you said that your marijuana levels would be low, if at all, because it could still be in the system from the arraignment date. So, I know I was very clear within the event that you needed it for medical purposes, what the requirements are.
Yes,
Okay,
So
now
I-
we're into February and you haven't submitted anything from a doctor that you have a treating relationship with. Not a random doctor that you walk into a clinic and you don't have a treating relationship with.
my family doctor, yes. So if I can get proof from my family doctor that I once had a medical marijuana license and everything.
No, no.
Oh,
What the
So,
judge is
what
saying,
did I say? What I said was, sir, please listen to what I'm saying, okay?
okay,
You're stating that you need marijuana for medical purposes, and that is the medicine that needs to be prescribed for you, right?
yes,
Okay. So, then you need to get something from your doctor that tells you that the marijuana is the medicine of choice that that doctor is recommending,
I understand.
based upon what your medical issue may be.
I
Just as
understand.
though you have a doctor that gives you medicine for high cholesterol, high blood pressure, whatever it may be, diabetes.
I understand what you're
Okay,
saying now,
and you
yes.
go back to that doctor on a regular basis to make sure that that medication is in fact working.
Yes, I can
Okay.
in fact have my doctor write me something that will say that, yes.
How often do you see your doctor?
I see him every month. I've been seeing him since I was 20 years old.
Okay, then make sure please that when you're communicating with your doctor, that you let your doctor know that you use it on a daily basis.
Okay,
Okay,
All right.
because I have some concerns that you're supplanting one addiction with another, because there is such a thing as marijuana dependence. Okay, so that is why there needs to be something from your treating physician
okay,
that's the best medication choice that your doctor is recommending.
okay. I will do that. I will go there today or tomorrow, whenever you can get me in there, I'll call.
Okay, well, just so you know, sir, I'm presuming that there's gonna be future bond violations
No, ma'am. I promise you.
based upon the testing that you've been doing and that you've been testing positive for marijuana.
Okay,
So, yes, there's going to be some bond violations coming forward, I'm going to presume. And please, sir, do not tell me that you would be testing positive because your wife still smokes.
okay, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Because that really, really lowers your credibility.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
He's sorry that Judge DiSanto's ears are finely tuned bullshit detectors.
All right, here's what the court's going to do. The court, after hearing from Mr. Shirelli, hearing from counsel, reviewing the report, the recommendation, the criminal history, the court's going to give you an opportunity, sir, and the court's going to find that there is reasonable grounds to park MCL 769.5. The court's going to order 12 months probation. You're eligible for early discharge. I'll go over that in just a few moments. The court also finds that the following sentence is in the best interest of justice, is reasonable and proportionate to the circumstances of the matter and Mr. Shirelli, keeping in mind the guidelines for the legislative guidelines and the intent on those. Sir, you're not to violate any criminal law of any unit of government. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court. You are to report truthfully to your probation officer as often as your probation officer may require, in person, writing, or virtually. You notify your probation officer immediately of any change in address or employment status. You are to not use any alcohol or drugs. You are to be subjected to random testing. You're going to be continuing that. The court is going to also order you, sir, to participate in outpatient substance use counseling. The rehabilitative goal for the random testing is so the court can monitor your progress in maintaining abstinence and sobriety. Do you have an issue with participating in that substance use counseling, sir?
No, ma'am.
no, we were just discussing to make sure about the bond aspects, the marijuana aspect, just making sure.
The rehabilitative goal for the outpatient substance use counseling is so that you can learn additional coping mechanisms and perhaps address if there's any marijuana use disorder as well. The court's going to order you to participate in family meetings once per month. The rehabilitative goal for that condition is so you can get additional support services and recovery resources to help maintain sobriety. Any questions regarding any of that?
No, Your Honor.
As to the bond violation, the court's going to order 10 days jail. I'm going to suspend that jail. If there's a probation violation, sir, that jail's back on the table.
I understand.
So whether you serve that jail time, 100% on you.
I understand.
As to the fines and costs, the court's going to order a $400 fine, $100 screening assessment fee, $600 supervision oversight fee, that's $50 a month at 12 months. And since you're eligible for early discharge, up to half of that can be waived. $300 cost of prosecution, crime victim assessment fee of $75, justice system assessment fee of $50. So that's a total of $1,525. You did post a bond of $500, sir, that's in your name. Do you have any other money to pay today?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I don't, 'cause I just paid off those tickets that were $700, so unfortunately my check is a little short right now. But,
So, sir, so no, you do not. That's fine. I'm just
Okay.
trying to determine, after we apply your bond, what the balance will be. That's all that's the only reason I asked, sir.
all right,
So that means your balance, we're going to apply your bond, $500 balance. I'm sorry, $500 bond is applied, means your balance of $1,025, keeping in mind that you may not have to pay back $300 of that. So how much can you pay per month and what date of the month works best for you, sir?
150 a month.
No, Your Honor, I'm gonna suggest it be $100 a month, and then because of the possibility, I'm just saying that.
No, counsel,
I almost wanted
I'm
to
not
do
smirking at you. I'm smirking at your client because he's shaking his head no as you're
Well,
talking.
because I want to get it paid off as fast as I can,
Sir.
so.
Hold on.
Listen,
What he was trying to say is that keeping in mind that you can pay more if you can pay more. But,
thank you.
Thank you.
sir, you're very quick to be very defensive and no, instead of listening and waiting for the rest of the conversation. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. So, we'll do $100 a month. If you can pay more, sir, you can certainly pay more. We don't have a prepayment penalty.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
So then you like a mortgage.
What date of the month works best?
Probably the middle of the month. So if like, it's 15th or 16th, somewhere around there.
Okay, so since we're approaching the 15th or 16th, are you expecting it's going to be this month or next month?
I can pay $100 on Wednesday. Next Wednesday,
Okay, the
and
19th.
then start from that point on.
Okay, so let's do beginning February 19th and the 19th of every month thereafter, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, sir. As I did state, you are eligible for early discharge as long as all the following have occurred. You've completed at least half of your original term of probation. All probation requirements have been completed. You've had at least 3 months without any violations. All monies have been either paid in full or you've made a good faith effort toward making full payment. I know I went very quickly on that part, but probation will go over that with you again.
Okay.
All right? Good luck to you, sir.
I have one question, please. Is when it relates to the $100 a month, now, if I happen to be able to make a payment for more money, can I pay like twice in 1 month?
I'll explain.
All right,
Yes.
Thank you.
thank you.
Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy watching this content, please like and subscribe. It helps new channels like this one gain exposure. There is a lot more good court to come, so if you like what you saw, tell your friends. If you didn't, tell me, and let me know what you'd like to see and how I can improve. Thanks.